Have you ever been in a meeting and had a question thrown at you that made your brain freeze? It happened to me once, years ago, when I was a cadet on a ship, and the captain asked me for an update on a system that I hadn't really touched in a long time, maybe weeks. Now, I could have said, I don't know, but instead I blurted out something that I thought sounded smart. Problem was, it wasn't smart. Within an hour, the whole crew was chasing down a non-existent problem, and I was wishing I could disappear in the bilges. That day, I learned something powerful. You see, the issue isn't admitting that you don't know, it's leaving it there like a dropped anchor. Real pros acknowledge when they don't know something, and then they steer the conversation toward action. So today I'm going to show you how to turn those awkward moments into opportunities to prove that you're thoughtful, engaged, and ready to find the answer. And stick around for the Mastery Minute. I've got an idiom for you that will make your promise to find an answer sound like a vow that you'll keep. And hey, if you ever had one of those moments where you froze up and you didn't know what to say, drop it in the comments or in the chat, and I'll try to answer a few right after the Mastery Minute, live at the end of the show. So, let me introduce you to Carla. She is a project coordinator for an international team. In one meeting, her boss asked her a question about a report that she hadn't seen yet. Instead of panicking, she smiled and said, "I'll check on that and get back to you before the end of the day." Then she followed through, and her boss later told me, "That's why I trust her. She doesn't guess, she delivers." So Carla didn't lose credibility because she didn't know. That's where a lot of people stumble. They think that saying "I don't know" makes them look less credible. But she actually gained credibility because she handled it with confidence and action. And that's what we're talking about today. How to answer without knowing the answer and still sound like you're the most reliable person in the room. So let's set the scene. You're in a meeting. Someone asks you a question. You truly don't know the answer. Now, honesty is always important, but here's the tricky part. In professional settings, the way you deliver that honesty can make or break how people perceive you. Will you come across as passive, unprepared, disengaged, and unreliable? Or will you come across as thoughtful, credible, and ready to take action? That's the question for you. Where do you think you're going to lie when it comes to answering the question? So, we're going to start with 10 alternatives to "I don't know." We'll talk about when to use them, how to use them, and why they work. So, number one, instead of saying "I don't know," say, "That's a good question. Let me find out and get back to you." Use this to acknowledge the value of the question, but also buy you time to gather accurate information. Why does it work? Because it shows respect, engagement, and accountability. Number two, "I'm not sure right now, but I can check and let you know later." So this is really good for when you need a quick response, when you need to follow up later. It works because it keeps you in the conversation now while committing to an action later. So Another one. Let me double check the latest data before I answer. If you're a technical person or in a technical role, this is ideal for that type of situation. Detail-oriented situations. It works because it prioritizes accuracy and credibility. Notice all of these require action later. That's the key. Number 4. I haven't come across that before. I'd like to look into it. So use this when you want to express curiosity or a willingness to learn. Why does it work? Because it frames your uncertainty as a learning opportunity. Gives you a chance to learn something new. All right. Number 5 and 6 are, that's outside my area, but I can connect you with someone who knows. So if you're working in a cross-functional team, this is where you want to use that type of statement. It works because it's helpful and resourceful. Now, I'll need more information before I can answer accurately. Again, you're not saying I don't know. You're saying, let me get some more information. Use this to slow down a conversation and ensure that you want clarity. It makes sure that you avoid the guesswork and encourages precision in your team and in your actions. We're just flying through these right here. And these are simple phrases, but we'll go through the last 4. Number 7. I don't have that information at the moment. This is best for situations where brevity, that's shortness, is needed. It's honest, it's clear, and it's professional. Now, I would also follow this up with something like, I don't have that information at the moment, but I can look it up and get it for you. I mean, come on. We live in an age where instant you can use this little pocket computer and find all kinds of information like that in a snap of a finger. So, okay, a similar one. That's not something I've dealt with before, but I'll look into it. So if you're facing an unfamiliar issue, use this expression. I'm not familiar, it's not something I've dealt with, but I'll look into it. It shows that you've got initiative, but you're not over-promising anything. Next up, I think I understand the question, but can I clarify first? So this is when you want to ensure mutual understanding. Can I clarify it first? Maybe you can say, can you rephrase the question? Or you yourself rephrase the question and repeat it back to the other person. I think I understand the question, but can I clarify first? It gives you, it's another benefit, it engages the speaker and it also buys you time to get to the answer. Okay? And finally, number 10, and you can read all of these on the blog, the link is in the description. Can we revisit this once I've had time to review the details? This is great for busy meetings. If you have a busy meeting and you have a lot of things on the agenda, use this kind of expression. Can we revisit this once I've had time to get the details or review the details? It sets the expectations and manages your time more effectively. It really does work great for that. Don't let your meetings get bogged down. Nobody likes a long meeting. I hate long meetings. All right. Each of these shifts the tone from I give up to I'm learning and I'm helping. That shift builds trust with a plan of action. You signal to others that you are dependable, engaged, and solutions-oriented. It sounds like a resume, something you want to put on your resume. But this is definitely experience that you can use to build your reputation. And if you use this over time, use this technique and strengthen your professional reputation, build rapport with colleagues and clients, and turn your own uncertainty into an opportunity to demonstrate leadership. Really important, leadership. All right. So, today's challenge. In your next meeting or conversation, replace "I don't know" with one of these 10 alternatives and watch how it changes the conversation. Really. That's it. Use one of these, replace "I don't know." I was always taught at the Maritime Academy that you should never answer with "I don't know," because you should always be looking for an answer. Looking for, say, "I don't know, but I'll find the answer." So that's what all of these alternatives are for. And if you would like to learn how to improve your English without textbooks, memorizing long vocabulary lists, or slogging through boring grammar rules, check out my course, Mastering English for Busy Professionals. In just 10 minutes a day, you'll practice the real-world habits that train your brain to think in English and speak naturally. The link for that is in the chat and in the description. Let's check it out. And now we get to my favorite part of the day, today's Mastery Minute. Today's idiom is leave no stone unturned. This is a very vivid way to promise you'll search everywhere for an answer. The phrase, it comes from a story in ancient Greece when a general named Polycrates, I think I'm pronouncing that right, was told by the oracle at Delphi to leave no stone unturned in his search for treasure. And he literally lifted every stone until he found what he was looking for. So when a client asks, "Do we offer weekend support?" instead of saying, "I don't know," you could say, "I'll leave no stone unturned to find out, and I'll get back to you within the hour." It's a really good, confident, action-oriented way to show that you won't stop until you have the answer. It adds a bit of story and a little personality to your answer that people will remember. So leave no stone unturned. And that's a wrap. That's it for episode 47. Today we covered 10 professional alternatives to "I don't know" that keep you sounding confident, incredible, and curious, looking for the answers. Next time, we're going to dive into some powerful storytelling techniques in English that are practical ways to share stories that connect with people, to make your ideas more memorable and leave lasting impressions in conversations, in presentations, in everyday interactions, even in job interviews. You're going to want to check it out. And if you found today's episode helpful, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and share this with a friend who's ready to master English one smart habit at a time. And that's all the time we have for today. I'll be back on Friday. I look forward to seeing you there. And looks like we don't have any questions in the chat, so I'm just going to say good night.